Hey Blades fans, welcome back to Hertz Arena and another Florida Everblades pregame show. I'm Hannah Jo Groves alongside Jake Maurice. Jake, the Blades able to get their first win, the first game of 2026, but it didn't start off very well, 0-0 after the first period, and then the second period things really started going. What was the biggest difference you saw in the Blades between the first and second?
I think they just had 20 minutes with their legs under them. I mean, Florida coming into this game had 11 days off before that matchup. It takes time to get back to pro level hockey. You could see both teams, but more Florida had a little bit of just roughness to their game.
Yeah.
Some passes were off, some
Little
skating,
rust.
some structure was a little bit disheveled, you could say.
That's a great word.
In the second period, they get an early goal from a guy who's been waiting for it in Jordan Sandbrook.
Yes.
So that gives a lot of energy to the bench. Obviously, the crowd comes alive. And then from there, the Everblades got really back into their game. That stretch from about the midway mark of the second period to the Craig Needham goal that made it 3-1 at the time, that was some of the best hockey we've seen from Florida all season. They were just all over the Solar Bears, totally dominating them, and got rewarded with that goal. So more of that.
Yes.
Stretched out throughout the entire night
Yes.
will go a long way towards helping Florida get another win.
Absolutely. Also, two guys in there, Logan Lambden and Isaac Nurse, really back to see them on the ice. What did they add last night?
Well, I think they added a good bit of energy just being there again, right? It's good to see two guys that a lot of the fans know. They're happy to see them back out there. There was a good little pop when it was announced Isaac Nurse was a part of the starting lineup. Lambden's first shift gets a good bit of attention, right? So it's just a little bit of extra energy going into the game in one where Florida kind of needed it with how long of a break it was, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then they didn't try and do too much.
Yeah.
It's their first game back. They haven't played hockey, pro hockey, in I think it was 7 months, pretty much.
Good long time.
Yeah, so you don't want to try and force anything. They went out there, handled their shifts well, looked like they belonged, and now tonight you're looking for the next step, an improvement to get back towards the games that they had last year when they both combined for 30 goals for Florida that they just inserted back into their lineup last night.
Yes, and we can't wait to see that from them. There was a unique moment last night for me, Jake. I don't usually get to hear your broadcast, but I heard part of it last night when Orlando pulled their goalie with a significant amount of time left in that third period, and I know you were surprised by that. Walk me through kind of what went through your mind when that happened, and then what did you see after that?
Well, yeah, they pulled their goalie for the first time with just under 4 minutes left in the game, which is usually a long time left.
Right.
But going through the third, up until that point at 5-on-5, Orlando had one shot.
Right.
So it obviously wasn't working for them at 5-on-5. They weren't getting back into the game at even strength. They needed to make a move. They did, and to their credit, it worked right away. They scored 12 seconds into the 6-on-5 time to bring it to a one-goal game and make the ending a lot more nervous for the Blades fans in attendance.
Absolutely.
But from there, it was sort of a bit of a wake-up call for Florida.
For
Okay,
sure.
we're not out of this one yet. Got to lock back in. And while Orlando did have a couple more chances down the stretch, Florida was able to hold them at bay the rest of the way.
Yes, they were. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Also wanted to ask you about special teams. I know that was something yesterday you really harped on, needing to be good. It kind of has struggled at home in the past, is what you were saying. What did you see from it last night?
Well, unfortunately, it wasn't the greatest night for Florida. Tyler Bird breaks through for a power play goal, and Florida, on their 2 power play opportunities that they had, came up empty. We're not at all worried about the way Florida plays at even strength, right? They're excellent when they're equal. We saw it in the second and the third, especially yesterday. Special teams, though, they can sink you in important games, unfortunately. A couple times this year, Florida has come out on the wrong side of a matchup due to special teams. A couple times as well, far more on the road than at home. Florida's come out on the right side of a game thanks to their man advantage. We saw that back on opening night when Florida had 2 power play goals to lead to the win against Orlando in their building. Here tonight in our building once again. Hopefully the special teams can take a step forward and be a good positive contributor for Florida tonight.
Yes, it looked like, too, we had some chances on our penalty kill where it looked like we could create something.
Florida actually has been really good shorthanded at generating offense recently. I mean, going into last night's game, they'd scored a shorthanded goal in back-to-back games. The forwards, are very confident going up the ice with the puck and going for those opportunities. They're not going to shy away if there's a guy back there. Which is great because we've seen shorthanded goals. They're always huge momentum swings, especially if you can get one at home.
For sure.
But unfortunately for Florida, didn't get one last night, but you do want to keep that going. Don't want to be too risky with it. Don't try and force something that's not there because then you can put yourself into real trouble.
Right.
But if you have an opportunity, go for it because you've already shown this year that you have multiple guys that can contribute shorthanded.
Yeah. And these two teams, you know, we play the Solar Bears a lot. Tensions rise quite frequently.
Game 7 already.
Yeah. And I hear a certain guy is going to be in the lineup tonight.
Yeah.
What role could physicality play in tonight's game?
Well, that certain guy being Kyle Neuber means that physicality is certainly going to be a part of it. We saw a fight yesterday, Oliver Cooper dropping the gloves with Reese Newkirk.
Former Everblade, Reese Newkirk.
Yeah, his former teammates watching from the benches. Their current teammate, Oliver Cooper, handled him pretty well.
Yes.
That was more of a fight where Cooper laid a big hit and Newkirk was standing up for his guy. It's a little different. But we did see some real nastiness, especially in the first period in yesterday's game.
Yeah.
It sort of calmed down the rest of the way, where discipline was more important with it being such a close game in the third period. Both teams wanted to keep it cool. Here tonight, it sort of depends on how the game goes. I don't know if we'll get that right away at the start, but certainly if it gets out of hand one way or the other, or there is another Oliver Cooper big hit or a different guy, then, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see all that come back into the matchup.
Yes, and yeah, we will have to be disciplined. I think if things go not Orlando's way, they might try to draw the Blades in, so hopefully they stay disciplined on that. Okay, Jake. Second game of 2026, we want to get a second win. Can you give us the direct effect marketing 3 keys of the game?
Well, you actually just mentioned the first one, discipline going to be important tonight. There were a couple times in the first period where Florida got themselves in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Took away a power play in one instance with a penalty after the whistle. You can't have that. You've got to make sure that you're keeping your head straight. It's not easy against the Solar Bears, especially, more so than anybody, but you just got to stay smart out there. Second off, lots of shots. Florida got a good amount of pucks towards the net, but it sort of tapered off towards the end. Made sense. Florida was defending the lead rather than trying to get back into the game. But usually we see in the third period, Florida dominate through their offense a lot of times, just keeping the opponent out of their own zone and using that as an important part of their defensive game. So I think more shots important for Florida tonight. And then finally, the Everblades, we talked about the special teams. We talked about how good they are at 5-on-5. I want to see it kind of gel a little bit more with some of the guys who are coming back into the lineup tonight. It's not just Kyle Neuber and the 2 guys who came back yesterday. Reed Duke is also back in the Everblades lineup. So you're getting some of the regular contributors back. I want to see how that gets mixed in with those guys. How do you insert Duke back into the power play? How does a guy like Lambton get mixed back in there? Because he was a big part of last year's power play. Isaac Nurse, we know he kills penalties. When are we going to see him out there, and what's that going to look like? So it's going to take some time a little bit, especially for new players working with them that aren't as used to them. But I do want to see kind of that first step towards that tonight of getting those guys back onto those special teams units. All
right. Well, Blades fans, it's Marvel night. As you can see from the jersey I'm wearing, this is Dr. Doom that I have on my jersey. So if you want this jersey that the guys are wearing tonight, go on that Dash auction app and put your bid in. We are also still auctioning off our Peanuts night jerseys. Those we wore last night, game worn or game issued. Get your name in. 2 great causes. Marvel is for NCH. The Peanuts jersey is for Animal Refuge Center. So get your name in there. You won't want to miss out, guys. Next up, Jake, warm-ups. And then it's the Orlando Solar Bears versus your Florida Everblades. We'll see you there.